The next one's called Speak Rain. This is about, not my friend, but myself. Rain, lots of it, bucketful really, fell as my socks got soaked, wearing sandals and my windshield fogged up with a maxed out AC having no visible effect. I let the engine idle and stared blankly at nothing in particular. I talked to a woman for several hours and she was having none of it. The only explanation I can give is what I had photocopied earlier in the day from Musashi. I failed to use all my weapons at my side and got my ass kicked. You got nobody to blame but yourself. You win some, you lose some. After the rain, there'll be sunshine. Fuck you. Finally, and remember, it's always finally. It's not about getting laid or winning the heart. I know well that there's nothing in the end, but you keep hopelessly gambling against that nothing anyway. That's what it's about as far as I can tell. Don't justify it with second-rate biology, philosophy, ideology. Even the first-rate ones don't work. Don't justify it. Just keep sitting silently there in the dark rain. Maybe the driving rain will speak through me next time. Even though there is no next time right now. This next one is called Northwest Passage. The Northwest Passage, many times sought, never chartered, is not a cartographical line scrawled like Gnostic graffiti, a secret outline of unlived republics on the pirate sea, or the negative current of gold-hunted Colombian seashore drenched in Indian blood. It is the fierce brilliance of your lips tracing the fluttering equator of my razored eyelids, the disintegrating distance I measure out of the knowledge of your naked, aching Godhead, scintillating enough to reproduce the widely shape-shifting coordinates of our insignificant kiss. When the insurgent smoke of our entwined breaths clears, Sanctus Spiritus of our sex is cut down into dilapidated effigies of dismembered saints, do we prepare for another pilgrimage to slay the false prophets of our disappointment? To collect from their desecrated bones a memento of a war our love remade ad nauseum? Out of post-coital melancholy comes this reckoning on the road to infernal Damascus, this fragment of perennial hate against sublime promises spat in war, love, or prophecy, all rot in the register of a ridiculous apocalypse. I now know that the unpaid blood of the disenchanted, faces decrepit half-brother, fertilizes a scorched war zone of the disinherited, those eyeless children fed to hungry carcasses of light, leaving the wilderness of the mad desert fathers, gashed, luminously bled in scavengers' entrails, just as the Son of Man ate stone, smashed his tempter's face, and threw him over the precipice. I sigh like a decapitated iceman, that a movement for, against, or otherwise has no more use than love, being only an armless, legless, bodiless pair of desiccated lips on a thorny cross, intoning, Eli, Eli lama sabachthani, trembling in bare stench of his decomposition. But the dead, too, have their sacrilegious communitas of just dirt in the ground, even as Tibetan Buddhist genetic engineers and Christian fundamentalist undertakers painstakingly map their fantasy afterworld of hierarchical demons and sexless angels. Their Northwest Passage, save and thrift, capital gains of enlightenment and lottery ticket of jackpot salvation, is expensive like the crucified organs of million billionaires. If that doesn't put you in the red, the property tax on your new estate in Nirvana heaven will. Quickly shot down to the station of armless indigenous slaves digging gold with sealed assholes. What's worse? All the tax breaks you got from donating to Dalai Lama atom bombs, Jesus Christ Hummers, and other squeaky clean Deus Irae machines for the poor and needy of the world will be counted as downtime of illegal immigrant work stoppage and karmic eschatological numerology indecipherable except to mystical accountants who practice sorcery like you once practiced mindless masturbation. They won't take you down your name, not even jail you, just shoot you without a blindfold. I know what you're thinking. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. I was willing to give my God an eternal blowjob until the fucker came in my mouth, ripped my vocal cords, gutted my eardrums, and combusted my eyeballs, making me deaf, dumb, and blind in a money shot to end all monetary exchanges. Well, sorry, kiddo. Martyrdom is passé, and so is all this shit about dying for a cause that gives you nothing but bad orgasms and worse headaches. Down with the despotism of I believe, and up with a war against none. This penultimate one calls abstract time abstracted. If time were on my side, I would know what I'd say. I mean, what can I say now when the idea of for or against no longer appears valid, let alone semantic? Time isn't on my side because my side is pierced by the spears of no come you may, and blood flows and trickles for endless tricks I turn in my mind. In my mind? Yes, where else? Because I preferred bordering on borders of thought that make sense, that sunshine like a verb, nowing. It's the noumenon, stupid. Transcendence in B minor or C sharp or whatever musical notation metaphor that arises like a reflex of a poem, self-destructing. Why do we have to make sense? Why, can you tell me, you ugly and cute mofos? Who said it was better to say something than nothing? Who? It's not that I can't trust the word or trust it like busting open verical monopolies of poor imagination, sued Blanche short of all its desperate hopes for profit and a sacrifice of a future return of soulless beauty. Language shouldn't be like that. Invisible, metaphysical, signs rising like Lucifer shot through the heart. But my protestation is dull as a sectarian masturbating, lonely dribbling hallelujahs. The Pope of your truth is dead, and so will you be. Stating such obvious trivialities. I go on counting my stolen money in multiplications that dance like terribly mangled minus signs, wailing through the blood of thou Savior coming faster than my ex. At the end of the line, this line, all lines, that's all you're going to get anyway. Mixing metaphor and desire, religion and vodka, cocktail bristling cocks, ejaculating into vices of tender vaginas. Holy bullshit, disguised as obscenities, a waiting game of words to pass the time. When poetry descends to playing games with time like this, then you know for sure, time hasn't got any motherfucking side.